All right, how's it going, everyone? How's it going, guys? All right, everyone, how's it going? Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Drew. Hey, guys, how's it going? My name is Drew, and welcome back to the single-player series here on Time Off. That's right, the single-player series. I love this world so much. Hello everyone, welcome to the most special video on the channel yet. My name is Drew and welcome to the World Tour. So to start the World Tour, I want to show you guys the map of the main area of the world. This is all the land that I'm going to be covering for the first part of the tour. And then we're going to go into the Nether, and then there's some areas fairly far away that we're going to be going to. We have my kind of living area up here. The farming district is over here. We have a custom village over here, a town that we've been working on. This is the lumber yard down here. Got a big mansion here, and I can't wait to get this area. I think this area is going to be one of my future favorite areas. The mining district is over here, and there's some other small things in between that we'll get to. All right, it's a brand new Minecraft day, and it's a good time to get this tour started, officially started. This cabin here is where it all began. I spawned in a jungle, 2,000 blocks in that direction. And I made my way over here, and I decided to do a YouTube channel eventually. So I built this cabin before I built the channel, or before I started the channel. But even then, I use these chests fairly often, just because it's kind of central to where most things are in my world. Some of these items haven't even moved since the beginning of the series. I'm not sure which ones in particular, but that sandstone has been sitting there for a while. I can guarantee you that. So it's kind of cool to have this little history here. I built this road kind of around it that I like quite a bit, this path here. And I need to finish more paths. We'll see this nice path here and some other nice roads, but most of the roads are just blank paths with no decoration around them, and the posts here too. So we got to work on that in the future. So when you head up these stairs right here, the cabin's just down there. You get this nice intersection, and this was like the first kind of big intersection that I built in my world, and it made me realize how much I love intersections. There's just something kind of cool about it, how things meet, and then you kind of give it some life and whatnot. It's really, really nice, and I love this little archway here. This is just a little hallway that it's a shortcut that takes you to the house over there. We'll go through there in a quick second. Up here, I want to show the vine farm. And this is a very simple farm, nothing too crazy. And it caught fire at one point, like a long time ago, and I never fixed it. But I used very simple blocks here. And I don't even really use it too much. I don't need vines too often in my world. Only when I'm using, like, mossy blocks, like mossy stone and mossy stone brick. And I don't even really ever need them much. But eventually we got to come here and we got to finish it, because this is just another random chest that I have. And yeah, we got to organize it a little bit better. Nice little view over here too. I could probably do something in this section in the future. So if you guys see anything in this tour that you have ideas for, comment below. Let me know what you'd like to see and where you'd like to see it, and we'll work on a new area together. So leaving the intersection, we'll go around to the horse stable, which is right up here. We have another intersection down here. This is a little dispenser setup that I had, and the idea was because I don't have any beacons in my world yet, I wanted to brew speed potions and have these little dispenser stations. So they do work. The timing's all perfect. Basically, you would run through and you get your speed 2 boost, and that would kind of take you around the world a little bit better. You'll learn that I don't like using the elytra too much, because I like to be grounded and I like to experience the world from like a player's perspective and not necessarily through a bird's eye view. So that's why I have the minecart system too. I'll show you guys the minecart system. We'll probably go around when I finish with the main area. We'll take the minecart and we'll go all the way around, because it kind of loops around most of the main area of the world. It's still not done in a few places. You'll see where it's like painfully not done, but we'll get there. So like I said, this is the stable. This is my first horsey here. My other horsey is out. I forgot where I left him, so hopefully we find him somewhere in this tour. The idea is that you would pull your horse into here, you would dismount him, you'd place your things in here, your leads, and you would kind of be on your way towards the house over there. Yes, that's right. This is the house. This area looked a lot more different when I first started the series. I had to place all this water here before, because I tried to make this area a little bit more interesting. But this house I built, I believe it was episode 3 or episode 2, episode 3 of the series is when I started it. I love this house so much. If I built it today, there's definitely some things I would have done different. Most of the builds that you'll see around here are either not done or I just would do it completely different today. This is a little nice roof to indicate that this is where the minecart station is for my home. So we have a minecart right here. We could take that in the future. There's some cool things with the minecart system I'll show you. Special thanks to Haphazardous Waste, my good buddy. Moving up into the house, we have the main entrance here. You can see the upstairs. And there is a basement as well. I have my doggy, which I've never named yet. And the main area is basically just the storage room. I have all my diamonds in here, some lapis. What else do I have? All kinds of redstone. I keep my wood section over here. Nether-related stuff. Don't know what's in here. Oh, some valuables, I guess. When I built this house, I had the goal of making a house with no doors in it. So that's something else that you'll notice is that there's actually all these different points to enter the house and exit, but there are no doors anywhere. This is the basement where I do all my smelting and my other special storage. I got tons of netherite here, and I haven't applied it yet because I don't have the template. This is another exit here to show you like where the cabin is, and I often jump off here, especially if I'm heading out in that direction. But this loops around to where the stairs are and where the intersection is right here. So that's another way to enter the house. And then I think I might have showed that, but then over here, this is not finished. But this is kind of like another way that you can kind of come and go. I kind of like it being like a little natural cave that bleeds into the basement. I think that's kind of cool. I remember struggling with that basement too, like for a long time. The original basement looked a little bit different, but I had a really hard time. And this is the upstairs where my bedroom is. And this is another area of the house that I really struggled with. I really struggle with interiors. If you watch my videos like in the future, or you watch any of my old videos, you'll know that I really struggle with interiors. This is the inside of my ender chest, by the way. And by my bed, I just kind of keep some valuables, dragon head, some mending books, all that kind of stuff. Things I'll probably never use either, but that's okay. And over here, there's just another entrance and exit into the house as well. So I think that's about it. There's also no glass. All the windows are fences. I think that's kind of cool. It adds some really nice character. Moving over here, this is where the nether portal is for my home area. It was a really nice kind of decorated, lush area. I do like this a lot. I think we went to the nether in episode 10. That was kind of like the 10th, the episode 10 special of my series. I went into the nether and had a pretty decent adventure that way. And I revealed this area. I did all this off camera. Most of my work I do off camera. I really suck at building on camera, but that's just me. I live stream and I tend to try to avoid building when I live stream. But if, you know, I'll describe my building process as best as I can. This is an area I haven't been to in a really long time. This is where the snow farm is because I think when I don't remember what I was doing in this world when I needed snow so bad, but I made a snow farm and I don't know how much snow is actually up here. Yeah, there's not much. I never really use this place too often. But I do like this little stairway here that kind of leads up into where the actual snow farm is. So we had a snow golem in here. He died a long time ago. I don't know how long ago he died or how he even died. But I placed some random chests around. I have my shovels here. That's right. But yeah, I really, really like how this area looks. I wish I could make it an area I really like. Or at least an area that I need to use. Oh, before I go, I forgot to show this hallway. I wanted to go through it with you guys. Very simple, very plain. I really like nether brick, but I don't use it too often. But I do love that block, and it takes you just down here, which I think is really cool. Like I said, guys, I still really love this intersection to this day. So moving away from the stable, we reach this other intersection over here, and this is something I built fairly recently. I really do like this intersection, but I think there needs to be a little bit more to it. I need ideas, guys. Give me some ideas, maybe some houses and whatnot. The way I always explain this series, or this world at least, is that I want it to build all these structures around the world with different purposes to hold different items or to hold different farms. And then my house would be the general building that would hold a little bit of everything, but most of everything else would have its own storage around the world. Going south, this is actually south in the world, so our house is north from us. We're facing south. This is where the mining area is, and there's not much going on in between the rest of the main area over here and the mining area. I have to make this look a little bit better, and there will be a staircase right here. You can kind of see where it's going to be. Coming through that little hallway, we get to the mining storage building. This was an early build, and you can see how plain it is, but I really like it. It shows like how Minecraft used to be, right? You watch a lot of Minecraft videos today, and it's all technical and detailed, and you know, there's a lot for your eyes to look at. This is so simple, and this is the only redstone door in my world, too. I'm not a redstoner. You'll learn that, too. But this is the mining storage building. That's not finished because I was going to do something with this, but I might just end up covering it up or something. And I don't use this building nearly as much as I thought I was going to, but maybe I just haven't took initiative and actually stocked it with everything. That's kind of one thing I have to do is go around my world and get rid of all the random chests kind of creeping around and sort everything, but it's going to take so long to do. One thing I remember about this building that I was very pleased with is all the builds that I do start with an idea, and then I end up, you know, building that. Like, you know, you look over at the mining elevator over here, and that was no different. Oh, I just got locked out. Come on, let's get back in here. This is a building that pretty much turned out just the way I was imagining it in my head. There's some builds in my world that I'm not very happy with, kind of like my snow farm. Oh, we'll go to one area that I'm not overly happy with either. We're going to get there in a couple seconds, but this is definitely one of them. I love how plain it is. It reminds me of how Minecraft used to be. I think I said that already, but it's so true. So I wouldn't mind doing builds like this every now and then. And it's big too. There's not a lot of builds in my world that's actually that big. We have a staircase. Oh, I want to talk about this wall too really quick, because I had this wall here and I didn't know how to decorate it, so I just kind of planted some trees and built these platforms out, these dirt platforms. I really got to come back here and try to figure this wall out. It was such a plain wall, like even more plain than what was over there, and I think I kind of botched it. So I got to come back here and I got to try to fix that. I think most of my videos in the future will be about me coming back and not fixing old builds, but trying to fix things around old builds and whatnot. Maybe there will be some old builds. What's in this chest here? Oh, okay. That's a chest that's been sitting there for far too long. This is the inside of the elevator, and we go down here, and this takes you to the actual mine itself, which is not that far. It's not that far down, really, because this world was generated way before 1.18, so this is all the old generation. And yeah, the idea of this area was that it was going to be an active mine shaft. And I always liked that idea. I wanted to have villagers down here to kind of play the role of the miners. And how I was going to do that was I had these little living quarters here, and I have probably about maybe 4, 5, 6 of these, something like that, scattered around. There's also one down here. And I used very simple blocks. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. But this is not a naturally generated mine shaft. I just built this to make it look like a generated mine shaft because I wanted it to look like the villagers down here were using it. And I'm going to go up here because I got these power rails around here. And you'll see power rails all over the place. And I have no idea where the mine carts are. But how I wanted it to be was I always wanted to have the minecarts running, and I wanted the villagers to be, some of the villagers to be in the minecarts, so they were always kind of moving around the mine just to give it like a lot of life and movement. But I have no idea where the heck these, oh yeah, and all the extra cave areas that I wanted blocked off, I just blocked it off. I made it look like that, you know, the miners did that themselves. For the life of me, I cannot friggin', oh, there's one right there. So I put a chest in, oh, they're all right here. Oh, okay, they're going, but there's 3 of them. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna get stuck or not. Let's see if we see it moving over here. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there goes one. So I feel like, oh, there they all go. Awesome, cool. Now we got a lively mine shaft again. This is another main area, and I really don't know how much I really like this. In my head, I always wanted, when the amethyst when the amethyst blocks were announced, I always wanted to use that for the ceiling up here. I don't really know how well I like it. I don't know if I like the mangrove stairs to go with it. I don't know if I like the green getting mixed in with it. It's just a weird looking, it's a really weird pattern. So this is an area that I have to come down and try to fix at some point. The whole way I look at something in this world in particular too, is if I have an area that I don't necessarily like, I want to make it an area that I will like. So for a long time, I struggled with down here, And I eventually bit the bullet, and I was like, okay, I got to do something with this because I don't really like this area. So I got to make it an area that I like, and I'll do that by building onto it or adding to it or adding greenery or whatever it is, like trying to make it more detailed or add more things down here that I need to go to. Over here was one of those things that I tried to attempt. That's a small bamboo farm, and that's a small sugarcane farm. I guess I'll go up there and show you, but I sometimes come here and see what's here, but I'm not often in the area enough to actually have it running. Over here, though, we have a skeleton farm, and I used to use this thing all the time. And then I ended up building a dual spider farm, and then I ended up building an enderman farm. So I don't really come here anymore unless I need the bone meal. I thought maybe I could get some armor this way, maybe some good bows, which I guess I still maybe could. Maybe put mending on some of these or merge them, whatever, I don't know. Oh, actually, there's a stairway over here that I never go down these stairs because I never really come up here anymore. But if you go down the stairway, you get to the original mine, and I guess I still use this mine every now and then. How this mine works is I have all of these hallways dug out that's 2 blocks apart each, and I think it was something like 260 blocks in that direction, and then I would dig in that direction, I would move over 2 blocks, and I would dig back in one of these halls, and that's how I was getting all my diamonds and stuff like that for the longest time in my world. And I guess if I really needed to go diamond mining, maybe I would use the old tunnels or something. I'm not too sure. I don't really think about it too much anymore, to be honest. I haven't really needed diamonds for a little while. Down here, however, is where the deep slate starts. So I started down here, the main deep slate mine. And the idea with it is whenever I need a deep slate, I'd come to this level, which is level -5. And I would mine all my deep slate, and whatever ores I got, it was like, that's great, but whatever. And then I ended up wanting the diamonds while I mined the deep slate, so I went even more down. And then that's when I discovered like this massive cave here. I think it looks so cool. But you go all the way down, and it's a completely unfinished mine. I haven't spent too much time down here. I mostly was just using it when I built that big deep slate tower in my world that you might have saw earlier. We'll get to that. Oh, and actually, you know what? Since we're down here, and why not? I know I haven't... Oh, diamonds right here. Look at that. What am I doing, Drew? What am I doing? But I'll throw an ender pearl over here. And I wanted to show you guys the cool area because I assume a lot of you are probably new viewers right now. But I showed this, I think, not my last single player episode, but probably the video before it. But I found this lush cave that I think is so cool. It's a lush cave that's not a lush cave. And I wanted some ideas on what to do here. Haphazardous Waste, my buddy that I mentioned earlier, he had a great idea of having hanging houses in here. So I think hanging houses would be pretty cool if I do say so myself. Back up here, this is something that I feel like even people that watched my series would probably forget. But I have a little tunnel here, and the idea was I was going to have like a minecart just going back and forth between the main mine area and what's over here. And this would have been a significant build if I just had done it right the first time. But I royally screwed it up, and I just did not want to come back and fix it. And I don't even think I would really use it that much. But this would have been the slime farm, because this is a double slime chunk that I looked up in Chunk Base, and it's 4 levels. So it's this level here, this level here, this level, and then the bottom level. The thing is that I wanted every level to look like this. So have the glass like this, and then the walls kind of looking like they were mirrors, and having like a trippy looking effect, having 4 levels of that. Mobs don't spawn on glass. So that kind of screwed me up. I did all this work. I started doing this, and then I find out that mobs don't spawn on glass, and it would have been a completely broken farm. But I'm not even really over here enough to notice slime spawning. I believe, like, this is right. I have seen slimes in the past, but I don't know if there's anything... There's a little bit of slimes in here. Okay, so that would have been from the farm. Ignore the scaffolding, by the way. There's going to be scaffolding all over my world because I cannot live without scaffolding. And a lot of the times I just place it and I forget to take it down. So bear with me on the scaffolding. So I left the mine and we're making our way back to the cabin where this video started and the series started. And you guys probably noticed this big building here with an iron ingot. Geez, I wonder what that could be. Of course, it's the iron farm that we're going to go check out. And I could jump across the lily pads that are over there in the water, but I'll be proper. I'll take the roads like a good boy. This is another part of the road that's not finished, and I don't like this bridge here. I'll probably get rid of this bridge and build a new bridge in the future. I went for something super simple, but I think it's a little too simple, and it's it's with blocks that I just like the wood just I don't think matches the whole stone aesthetic that we have going on here. That's not the horsey. No, my other horsey is white, the faster one that I have now. Again, I haven't found them yet, but you're not the horsey that I'm looking for. But this is the iron farm. I built this a few episodes back. At this point, it was actually months ago. This is a little part of the road here that would go up those stairs over there, and then that would lead up to my house. But like I was saying before, this building was built months ago, and my single player series hasn't been like too active. I'm gonna fix that. I promise I'm gonna fix it. You walk in here and you have kind of the unfinished iron factory. This was to kind of show you the aesthetic of what it was going to look like all the way around. I really love the mud blocks as the floor. You walk up here and it's kind of messy a little bit. I had to place all this carpet here so the iron golems didn't spawn down here. And I also placed a little carpet on the outside as well because I was having issues of iron golems spawning on the outside. I still don't really fully understand what the radius is for their spawning, but look, we're seeing it in action. That's so awesome. There are 6 villagers total, I believe. 6, right? Yeah, there's 3 in each little chamber there. And we have the 2 iron farms going on back to back. We got plenty of iron. I'm not too heavy on iron, like as a Minecraft player, so we already have more iron than I'll probably ever use in this single player world. It's awesome. This was such a good build. If you have a single player world, an iron farm is probably a must. But there's a big debate if they're broken. Do you think iron farms are broken because they're so easy to make? And of course, something else that you guys have probably noticed is up here. What is up here? These are some weird looking buildings, if I do say so myself. Well, this is actually the Creeper Plaza. Yes, that's right. This is the plaza for all of my Creeper Farm buildings. So these are all Creeper Farms. Originally, it was supposed to be just regular mob farms, but I realized that I only needed gunpowder and bone meal. But I have my skeleton farm, so I thought, what the heck? I might as well just make a creeper farm over here. It started out, I think, with maybe the first 3 buildings, and then I built like the taller one over there. I got to take that dirt block off. I turned off fire spread in my single player world, but I never turned off Enderman griefing. I think I'd have to. Up there is the spawn platform where I AFK, spawn platform, the AFK platform. And the creeper statue, obviously, I want to give you guys a nice close-up on all the blocks that I used. It's not just a typical flat pixel art. It's actually kind of like a 3D head that's built into the mountain. I jumped right into that bush. I wish I didn't do that. I terraformed all of this too. This was not naturally spawned. So I basically had to terraform the hill here and then place the creeper head, which I think turned out very nice. And to get to the actual creeper farm, well, not the actual farm, but the collecting system, we have to jump down this little chute here. And this takes you to where the gunpowder collects. So right now we have this, but in the history of that I've used this thing, I've only ever really filled up a double chest. It's not the most effective farm in the world, but it's my farm, dang it, and I love it. These are the chambers where they fall, so the creepers will fall on all these hoppers, and then it'll be automatically dispensed into the water streams that are underneath, and then that goes over here, and then up, and then into the actual area over here, right? Does that make sense? You guys following me? I love these Endermen over here, by the way, because they spawn in here, and I don't know why they're not teleporting. There's something weird going on. Maybe they can't teleport on hoppers. I'm not too sure, but they're holding items, so they'll actually never despawn, which I think is hilarious. And originally, too, I was going to build a minecart system connecting the creeper farm and the mining area, but I decided against it because I just thought maybe with the roads above, it would be a little bit of a waste of time. And plus, I do have the minecart stations as well, but there's no minecart station here at the Creeper Plaza. This bridge I built here, I really do like it. It's a bit of a different bridge, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it actually kind of matches the whole aesthetic of my world. Well, my world doesn't have like one solid style to it. It's just a little bit of everything, but for this area in particular, I thought that was a kind of a neat looking bridge. So you guys have probably been looking at this building right here for a little while now, and I wonder what this could be. I am still pretty proud with how this building looks. I wanted to challenge myself by using some different blocks I've never really used much before. But I love the mangrove, like particularly I love the mangrove for wood, or for roofs. You can see over there too, I used it for a roof over there. I think the mangrove looks so good. It's probably, It's probably my second or third favorite wood block. I love building with wood too. As you guys can see, I have wood all over my world. I love it so much. This building is actually the kitchen of my world, because before I was talking about how every building in my world would serve a different purpose. And so, you know, I smelt a lot, so eventually I'm going to need like a smelting building. And I don't have an enchanting setup in my house, but I have the enchantment tower over there where we're going to go in the future. I don't have much of a kitchen in my house, so I built a big kitchen over here. And it's getting dark, so we got to go in here anyway to sleep. But this was what I worked on in my last video, and I love this kitchen so much. It really is like the kitchen of my dreams. It's so magical, and it kind of reminds me a little, I don't know if this is a fair comparison or not, but it reminds me of like the burrow in Harry Potter. It's just so cozy and nice and warm and welcoming and kind of lush and quirky. I love it all. I really do. Up here I have where my bed is. I'll sleep up here. I could basically just use this place as like another house because there's so much storage around it. I really could just like store all kinds of different belongings here and just, yeah, use it as my house. Up here we have the tower that's not finished. And I showed this in my last video that there is a little bit of a lookout here. I think looks kind of cool. But we'll go back down. We will go outside, and I think we're going to head over. Oh, there's my horsey right there. Hey, I walked right by you, and I didn't even notice you. Hello, horsey. This is my nice, kind of fast horsey. I say kind of fast because it's not the fastest horsey in the game, but he's definitely faster than my first horsey, that's for sure. Over here, guys, we are entering the farming district. Yes, that's right. This whole area is kind of like the big farming district of my world. This is the cow farm of where I get all my food. I don't eat gold carrots in my world because I don't really have any villagers yet that have that. However, I have plenty of steak in my world thanks to this farm, and eventually I'd like to maybe add on to it or maybe build like a nice little barn looking thing. I've had a design in my head for quite some time I'd like to do, and I would like to get to that in the future. This over here I have to take down, but this was actually the original AFK area before I realized that AFKing in the sky is way more effective than AFKing over here because of like the caves and stuff like that. And I'm not using my lead. I am freaking out here. Use my lead. I'll put you right here and we will get to the barn. This barn is, aside from the cabin, the oldest build in my world, and it's the oldest build in my Let's Play series because this is the first thing I ever built on camera, and it hasn't really changed too much. I go into this barn all the time, actually. I really do, and I still love the interior. Like, I never really get tired of being in here. Upstairs is just extra storage with all the barrels and whatnot. I have my bed here. I always thought it was kind of funny that I slept on barrels. That was a really stupid joke. And we also have entrance to the sheep farm here. This is where I get all my wool in my world. I got some horses that I gotta take out when I eventually build a stable around the farming district. This is my little kitchen here too. This is where I've been cooking all my meat, but I'll probably move a lot of this into the kitchen. Coming out of the barn, we have a little strip here. This was just to kind of add to the farming district because I wanted there to be more to it, because for the longest time it was just the barn. And over here, I do have like a pretty big wheat field as well. This wheat field will change in the future. I've never harvested the whole thing in one go. I don't know how much wheat is actually here. But I would like to terraform the land to kind of bring it up because it kind of goes down. I would like to bring it up in the future. I think it would maybe look a little bit better, especially on the eyes, and a little less claustrophobic, I think. This building here was going to be the pig farm. I built a pig farm. I don't know why I built a pig farm. It's pretty pointless. But there's nothing in that building. It's just hollow and nothing special. This is the windmill over here. This windmill design was inspired by Elementalist. He was a guy... Oh, that trapdoor is down. I got to bring you down. What are you doing up there? Get down. But like I was saying, it was inspired by Elementalist. I loved this windmill design so much. I wanted to kind of make it my own, which I think I did a fairly good job with. This the building was actually built before like the windmill was installed, and I built the windmill on it to this building because I thought it looked a little weird without it. I think it looks a lot better. This is actually going to be a little stable for maybe a couple of horses and a few donkeys because I wanted to breed some mules in my world, and I thought that this is the area where I would do it. Coming around the back, we have this little area we can get up in this little tower, and there's not much up here, but I originally used this tower to AFK for the creeper farm. bad idea. And I remember when I AFK'd up here, a creeper actually snuck. Ironically, it was a creeper that snuck in. I guess they can climb ladders. Super weird. And he blew up on me, and it ruined up there. And I just ended up kind of placing the fencing just like how it is. It's a little like kind of wacky. That's just because I used the fencing to patch the holes and from the creeper explosion. I just left it as it is. I thought it's kind of cool to maybe leave a little bit of scars in that build. All right, I think we're going to do the rest of the tour with the horsey here, at least in the main part of the world. There's a little road that goes over there, but I want to go through the barn because this is, in my opinion, the best view. I'm going to get off my horsey for this because I love walking out to it. This, I think, is the best view in my entire world. I love this view so much because you get this view right here. You get the tower in the background, and you get the minecart station here. This is another minecart station here in my single player world. So when I first now it's raining right now. But when I first built the minecart system in my world, it was only the 2 stations. It was this station here and the station that was at my house, and we would just go back and forth. But I added on to it ever since, and like I said before, we will go around it. All right, horsey, rain stopped, and I'm going to grab you, and we're going to continue. I got your lead. That's good. I guess I'll keep this in my hand. But yeah, like I said, guys, I really love this. I love this shot so much. I think this is for me personally, I think this is the most iconic look of my world right here with the tower and I love it. Over here, I would like to eventually expand the farming district. I'd like more farmland, more crops and stuff like that, and build a stable here as well for the horses. Something else I always wanted to do is build a silo or 2 in my world, like maybe a working silo as well. That's something else I really wanted. Coming over here, we're finally going to get to the centerpiece of the world, the main area over here. And this was the first tower that I built in my world too. And also, I guess one of the first builds. This is one of those things where if I built it today, it would probably look a little bit different, especially like all the detailing and whatnot, but I'm probably going to leave it as it is. You walk up these stairs and you have an open entrance to the enchantment tower, which has all the nice floating candles, which I think looks really good. Each floor was going to have different books and different tools and stuff like that. But yeah, I really do like this. I use this every now and then, not as much as I used to. I have a dual cave spider farm, like probably a couple thousand blocks away, and I use that. I have an enchanting setup there that I use more. You climb up the tower. I have a bed there that I use. Most of the time when I come in here, I just end up using the bed. I like this floor, by the way, with all the armor stands, but I never really did anything with any of the stuff up here. And then you have the next floor, which is almost the top floor, but the top floor has the lookouts, which I think is really nice. So like I said, this is really the centerpiece of my world here. And it really shows when you're up here because you can look in every single direction and you can basically see everything that's in the main area of the world. One thing I wanted to add to the build on the outside, though, is maybe some floating islands, because I have the floating candles, like, around the building as well. Like, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, so I had to have floating candles somewhere. But having floating islands around it, I thought would have been really cool, too. But I remember talking about that a long time ago, and there were some people in the comments that were kind of not wanting the floating islands, so I decided against it. Where's your lead? Right here. And I guess you guys have been looking at this tower for a little bit of time too, so we'll go over here and we'll check out this tower that I built not long ago. It is not done, by the way. If you go into the episode where it was built, I believe it was about the landmarks of my world, because I love landmarks. You can tell with all the towers and stuff like that. You can clearly tell that I like my landmarks. I went into my creative world, that video, when I built this thing, and I showed what the concept looked like in creative, the little what you would call it, prototype of it. So it's going to be a bit more detailed than this. It's just I have to come back here and finish it at some point. But at the very top of the tower, I will hold all of the, not all of, but a lot of the ender pearls in my world, and the elytra wings as well. Now, I always like the elytra to be in my ender chest, so maybe I'll keep a spare up there if I ever get a spare. And this here is just a big bridge. This is part of the rail station here, and that's an intersection of the rail system, and that's an intersection of the rail system. And with more scaffolding, of course. We can never have too much scaffolding in my world. This is kind of a neat intersection too. I just built this thing, this road here, and like I said, none of the roads are really done, but I want everything to be connected with roads. So we'll come over here in a little bit, but this is kind of where like that mansion is. We got a lot of bees up there too, but I'm going to go back over here and we're going to enter the custom village. This is a village I started, I believe, in I think it was episode 20. Episode 20 when I started this village. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Again, there's definitely some things I would have done differently. I've always, with all my heart, hated this tower. I've always hated this tower so much. But I just left it here because I needed something tall, but God, I hate that tower. This is one of the rare areas of my world that's actually populated with villagers because I wanted everything to feel so lifelike. None of these buildings really have a purpose other than hosting the beds for the villagers. That was kind of like my goal, and I had to build all kinds of ladders and terraform around because I had iron golems and... where are my iron golems, actually? I haven't seen them in a little while. They used to get stuck down here. Oh, they are. There's one right there. Yeah, they get stuck a lot. This is probably my favorite build in this area, too. I got a little... oh, yeah, one thing. I liked the pixel art, so I have, like, the potion bottle for the tower there. This is the smithing building, so I built a hammer, and then this is kind of the fishing hut over here, so I built a pole, which I really like. But my favorite building is probably this. I really like the roof, and I kind of like the simple wall. I think that looks really neat. Not a lot of the buildings have really detailed interiors. Like, pretty much none of them do. Over here by the fishing hut, though, I'm sure you saw the portal up there. This portal I kind of built from, based off, like, the big portal in World of Warcraft that was introduced, or that was ignited during the Burning Crusade DLC. I thought that was really cool, so I kind of wanted to model my portal after that, but it's way smaller. And even then, this portal is not done, because if you go over here, you'll see like it's a little bit more plain up here because I never added in the textures. Over here, this ugly build is the villager breeder. This is where I get all of my villagers in the world. I don't really like it, but the whole purpose of it was I had a bunch of resources kicking around here that were just laying out in the middle of nowhere, and I was like, I guess I'm just going to use these resources. That's what these are. It's a very ugly looking thing, but I was just trying to push myself to just use the resources that I had laying around, and that's what I came up with. You guys have probably also been looking at this tower for quite some time, and you're probably wondering what the heck it is, but I gave you a little bit of a hint before. This potion bottle here, this is the potions tower in my world. You go in here, this is the main level, and I really like this interior. I really do. There's not a lot of interiors that I do that I like, but I really do like this interior. And this, I guess, has more ingredients than I thought it had. But I wanted to basically build all of my awkward potions down here, because the idea of this tower was that each floor would host different ingredients for different potions. And I had these the concrete blocks here to kind of color code what each potion was going to be. So you would go up to each floor here, and you would build, or you would brew whatever potions you want. Oh yeah, there's a villager up here too that, yeah, I don't know how this guy got up here. I guess he just took the water streams, but he got super high too. And yeah, he's living up here, man. This is just where this villager is. I kind of hope he never leaves, because I really like a villager being up here. And this is the exit chute down here. So whichever floor you're on, you could just take the exit, and that will take you back down to the bottom level. But just for the sake of it, this tower was actually never completed because, first of all, I never fully filled each floor with the ingredients. So it never was like a fully functional tower. But up here, I never really finished the top floor. So it kind of it's been sitting like this for a long time now. And but we also have a very good view of the rest of the world too. And it's getting nighttime, which is looking pretty neat. I guess I haven't really ever looked at my world at night too often, but this is what the world kind of looks like at night. I think lit up, it really looks nice, but there's obviously so much more in this world that I have to light up. It's all in all, it's not too safe for villagers, so I have to make it a little bit more safe before I really start populating my world with villagers. And I will sleep real quick. Thank you for the bed. Get off me! As you can see, it around me is the custom village as it always has been, because this is the original village here. These were the first buildings that I placed here in the village. And then about 50 episodes in, I started to expand the village this way, and this has a completely new look to it. So I kind of referred this area to being the new town. This is the old town, and this is the new town. And it's not nearly as populated as over there, but I have a little bubble column here, and this has a tunnel that is connected to the villager breeder. So when villagers are bred in this area now, they just drop down the tunnel and eventually they wash up here because I wanted this area to be just as populated. But also, I have an emerald bank here. What an emerald bank is basically just a trading outpost with all my villagers that I use to trade for emeralds. And I just wanted emeralds because a lot of good trades, you need a lot of emeralds. So this would be my area to farm the emeralds. And then we have all kinds of different villagers here. And we go up. Again, it's not finished. This is the back end. That's not done yet. None of my builds are really finished. But I have more villagers up here for different materials that I will use, and I have them pretty cheap too. I think I zombified all these villagers probably 4 times, I think 3 or 4 times. So that I think these are the cheapest trades that you can get. So moving along the new town at the end towards these buildings that are not finished, we have the road that continues, and you can see that this is where it's going to loop around to where we were before on the other new roads that I built. Towards the mansion and where the bees are. This here is a piece of the rail that's not finished. So this connects basically to the south shore, and there will be a future where that minecart is right there. There will be a future minecart station eventually to connect all of the main districts in my world via rail. I've always wanted to do that, and I still use it sometimes, but not all the time. Maybe I should try to push myself to using it a little bit more. We will go over here, though, and this will be where the lumber yard is. Yes, that's right. I don't have any TNT automatic or automated tree farms in my world. I don't really do that. I like chopping trees down the old-fashioned way, and more or less of the old-fashioned way where I don't even use this farm too much. I do when I need a lot of wood, and I mean like a lot of wood. I'll come over here and I'll spend some time just chopping down trees. I had every tree at the time. The acacia trees are over here, but I would also need to add the mangrove trees now at this point. But I hate cutting down mangrove trees. It's so rewarding, but man, I hate it. This over here is the main building of the lumberyard. This is where I would ideally store all my saplings. I guess I got scaffolding here for the taller trees. And then I got some wood here. I also wanted to have the rail. This is actually not connected to the main rail system here. This is the main system here. Like there's a station plotted out there for the future. I would ship over the wood from this building to what a future wood storage building would be. Those sheep are screwed, man. I'm just noticing this now. I don't know how long they were there. Man, those sheep are absolutely screwed where they are. I think I'm just going to leave them there. But there's no building over there, so there's no point of going over there right now. But yeah, this is basically to look like a little like wood shop where we would have a saw and we would drop down the wood here, the logs, and we would chop it up into the planks. I like a little bit of lore in my world, not too much, but a little bit. I just realized I left my horsey, so I guess we are going to do the rest of this tour on foot. Alrighty, so coming over here, we got this big intersection here. I got to do something with this area in the future too. I'm not too sure what it's going to be, but we'll figure something out. I do have a portion of this rail that is complete, so it's very plain looking now with the terracotta and the wood, but there is kind of like a rickety wood look that I'll show you guys what it's going to look like because part of it is finished. I'm debating if I should build a bridge here or not. Let me know. This little road comes down here to where we were before. This is the intersection that I showed before. The mansion is up here, so let's go up here and let's check out the South Shore. I think this area is probably going to be my like new favorite area when I come down here because there's something about the landscape. There's something about this building here not being finished. I never knew what this building was going to be. I just wanted to build like a big mansion of some sort, and I never finished it. I don't even know if I ever will finish it. The interior, I never got very far. But there would have been like multiple levels of this build and whatnot. But I guess it just stopped up here. But there would be like another floor and stuff like that. I had no idea what I was going for. I guess what I was going for is there's a castle in Skyrim, I think in Whiterun, and I kind of wanted to make it look like a miniature version of that on the inside. But coming over here, this is where the station would be. This portal here too, just really quick. I'm not done talking about this area yet, but I will go into this portal because there's something significant about this portal. Because this is the portal that lets us get to the roof of the Nether. Yes, that's right. There's only one portal that goes to the roof of the Nether, and it's that portal there. This was going to be a gold farm in the future. I never finished it. I don't think I really want to finish it. The idea is that we would have all of those zombie pigmen up there, and we would have multiple layers where we would shoot them, and then they would all fall to their death, and we would collect the gold. I think I saw that design from Crossbow Crafting, another one of my buddies, and I liked that idea so much. I wanted to do it in my single-player world, but I never finished it. And then I ended up going mining in a mesa biome, in a badlands biome, and I got tons and tons of gold. Like, that's the way to do the gold, I think. Yeah, but that's that portal, and we come back out here. There is no design yet for the rail station here. I got to come up with a rail station eventually. But yeah, I love this landscape so much, and I love where I kind of plotted out where future buildings will be. Now, this is a good time to talk about that because I mentioned in one of my previous videos that, well, I mentioned it in this video too, that every build in my world was kind of originally going to be for like a different purpose. But the more that I want to start filling up my world with buildings, the more I'm realizing that I'm going to start having to build buildings, particularly for just pure aesthetic and scenery. So I'm going to have to get used to that. I think sometimes I'll just start building buildings just for the sake of building buildings. Okay, so that's actually about it for the main area of my world. There's pretty much nothing else to really talk about. That's all the main areas, I would say. Yeah, pretty much. So let me do something for you guys. And by do something, I mean I need my elytra, which is going to be in this chest here. I got to fix this. I got to make more rockets too. So we won't use the elytra for very long. I don't use the elytra very much in my world. But coming over here, this is where I built another custom village, and this was to look like a more generated village, like a more naturally generated village. So these were all modeled after buildings that actually do generate here in Minecraft. Some of them were actually designed by Uzunuru, a longtime viewer of my channel. I love him to death. I really do love him to death. But I didn't finish this area. This was going to be like the quote-unquote like color district where I would store all my colored blocks, like the wool, terracotta, concrete. That would all be stored over here. But you can see it's quite far away from the other main area of my world, so I never really wanted to come back over here much. Another thing that really kind of holds a special place to my heart, and I came over here a lot more than I thought I was going to. This is the pools that I use to convert all of my concrete blocks, the concrete powder blocks, into concrete blocks. So I would line them all up and I would just kind of mine them out that way. Now I have a much easier way on how to do it, so I don't really ever come out here much. But the reason why I built these pools here, because it's in a desert biome, and with the mountains here, I thought that there was tons of gravel in the mountains. So I could take the gravel, take the sand, and then the color district was right over there, and then I would kind of merge everything together and then try to use everything like so, right? But there's much better ways to do it, so I don't really do it that way anymore. Over here, I think it's kind of cool. So in the potions tower, I showed you guys that I had the elevator, and this is the prototype of the elevator. So I built this, and this is the same design, but I spent some time out here just trying to... this is actually a layout. This is a footprint here of the potions tower. So you would walk in, this was the entrance, right? And then we had the really nice interior, and then we would take the elevator up. So this is how the potions tower over there came to be. So I think it's time to finally ride the minecart that goes around the world. I think you guys will really like this because, like I said before, I had some help from Haphazardous Waste to make a really cool intersection. So I think no better place to start than at the house, because this is kind of, in my heart, this is like the OG minecart station. This was kind of the first one I built, and then the farm one came a little bit later. So yeah, we'll place it down, we'll hit the button, and we will enjoy a nice minecart ride around our world that we just toured. And I guess I'll try to do it with as little cuts as possible. I know I do a lot of cuts in my world. So this is actually the intersection system. So we use this lever here to choose the direction that we want to go in, and then we have to hold forward, we press the button, and bada boom, bada bing, we're on our way. Going past the tower. I think that looks really nice. I can't wait till that tower's done. I think it's going to look way cooler. And then there will be, obviously, a nicer tunnel that will be going down. Take a turn. We lose some speed there, so I got to fix that corner. And I'll probably make this tunnel look a little bit better. And this will take us to the mining storage area, like the mining storage building. Oh, there's another minecart here. And this will be another station in the future. We hit our button. And this is the rickety-looking wooden minecart system, or the minecart tracks here. So this is what I want the rest of the system from that station to the custom village. This is what I want the rail to look like over there. I got all kinds of minecarts here. Oh my goodness. So I'll push this, I'll push this, I'll push this, and then we will hop back into it, and we are on our way to the next station, which I believe the next station is the custom village. That's the lumberyard there. I love that bridge. I really do. I remember when I built that. Some buildings I don't remember when I built, but I definitely remember building that one. And then I love this area here. I think it looks so cool coming over the forest here. We feel so high. I just think this is so cool. And then we come back over to the custom village. I gotta add more scenery to my world too, because there's a lot of blech looking things. And then we have the other one. Let's do the same thing. I guess we'll just push this one. Come on. Come on. And this one's not finished yet either. I'll probably make this rail look like the rail that's down here. This was a very old design. I don't know if I would ever design a rail like this again. I don't really like how the smooth stone looks either. So at some point, maybe I'll come back here. I'll try to make this look a little bit more sleek. And then we have another intersection right here. So to go this way, we would want to hit the button, and then this... Oh, I guess I didn't even really want to go that way. And on our way, and this bridge, I think I built this bridge in like the 5th episode of my single-player world. We're like 60... This is technically the 60th video. But yeah, this is a very old bridge here. And I remember when I discovered that diagonal rails actually like keeps your momentum, so I got super excited that I could build a long bridge. I remember building this bridge too. It took a little while to do, but yeah, super old bridge. And we're gonna hit our intersection. Oh. And there we go. I almost screwed that up. I almost got stuck. All right, guys. So that's the rail system. I hope you really enjoyed it. I will expand more in the future, maybe make some more intersections. We'll do that all together. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and we'll work on it some more in the future. But for now, we will go into the Nether Hub. And spoiler alert, there's no real Nether Hub made yet. I will do that in the future. So we come out of that portal. This is our home. And this over here will be the center of the Nether Hub. There is no portal here in the center, but that's okay. I don't really think there needs to be one. I guess I just have some coordinates to the closest mountains. The seed of this world sucks, by the way, for mountains. Absolutely horrible. Horrible seed for mountains. Just, you'll see the only mountains I found in my world. It's not that impressive. But our home portal is down here. Let's go over to my favorite area of this world. This is where the dual spider farm is, and there's just something about... I guess I'll take my elytra off because I don't want to, ruin it. But like I was saying, there's something about this, because the whole area is kind of in a cave, but I redid the interior. There's no exterior. They're just, interior hallways, and it's just the look. It's just the whole design, the aesthetic of it, the colors. It's just so pleasing, and it's so, comforting for me to be in. I love spending time over here. That would be this portal right here. So this is the spider farm, yes, and there's also an amethyst farm here too, but there's closer amethyst geodes to my world. For the longest time, this was just kind of the only one I really knew about, so this is why I used it. But I probably will get my amethyst from maybe a different farm in the future. We leave our portal there, and the amethyst farm is right here. So yeah, that's that. But I probably won't use it too much in the future. I have a window right here to show the cave that we're in. I think it looks kind of cool. Looks pretty sleek. You can see some blocks that I placed when I was mining it. So again, you can kind of see the history of the world. So I think that's kind of neat. And then we have a bubble elevator here, and we have a water drop here. Down here, there's just a little bit more storage for everything. I guess I'll leave. And this is where the actual farm is itself, the spider farm. So I have the two spawners here. For some reason, the water just doesn't really come in through the tinted glass, which I think is kind of weird. But there are tons of there's tons of water blocks down there. No need to worry about water. One thing that's interesting about this farm too is that the spiders like to climb up into the corners. So often enough, I'll have to reset the game, and then they'll all drop, and then they'll be funneled down into the next level below us. And this is the actual kill chamber down here. I have a sword with Bane of Arthropods that I use on the spiders, and I collect all of my spider stuff that way. So I thought I had Oh yeah, all my eyes are here. I thought I was losing my mind for a second. Over here is a minecart system that I never finished. And this would have taken me over to a third spawner. And the idea was I would AFK in a minecart that would constantly be going back and forth. And I would be loading this spawner too. And these guys would funnel down to the same kill chamber. So when I would come back, I would have tons of spiders that I would be able to kill from the 3 spawners. But I never continued with that idea. I never really had to. So yeah, it is what it is. I just blocked it off for now. And then I have the enchantment set up here. And this is where I do all of my enchanting now in the world. So for example, I lost all of my netherite stuff and all my tools a couple episodes ago. So what I did was I came here and I spent a lot of time with these books and whatnot, just basically enchanting and getting this armor back. So it's not perfect, but it's okay for now. It's okay for me. I don't really have high standards when it comes to tools and armor, especially not armor. But yeah, so that's what this area is. I love this area so much. I love coming over here. And I think, yeah, I would love to build onto it. I would like to have more projects to build even more hallways to make it just more of like a labyrinth to get around this place. And maybe eventually I'd like to maybe build a main base over here. I think that would be really cool, actually, to have a whole base with this aesthetic. I love it so much. I really do. So we're coming back to the center of the Nether Hub. And there's a couple more places that I would like to show you. There's one more kind of really cool place that I'd like to show you. And then the location of where the mountain is, and there's something about that area where I thought about maybe going out there in the future and starting over, like when I was ready to kind of go, like finish the main area of the world, we would go to a brand new area, and that's where the mountains are. But for now, I want to go down this tunnel and show you the, I was going to say the Elytra Tower, but show you basically the end tower, the tower that hosts the end portal. That would be down here. End tower is this way. And I have my elytra, which is good, so I could actually kind of fly around the world, or I could fly around the tower if I wanted to. And this would take you to the top of the end tower, which is this, and it's also nighttime. And I thought I had a bed up here, but that's okay. Actually, it's kind of cool, because we're going to see it at nighttime. I don't have my elytra on, but we're here in an ocean, and there's a Badlands biome over there, and past that Badlands biome is the jungle that holds the spawn of my world. Now that I have the elytra on, I'm going to fly over to this island just over here. This island, that's an island, but this is the tower here. I almost punched you, sheep, and I think it looks really cool. I did this completely off camera, and I kind of kind of surprised the viewer, but it wasn't much of a surprise, I don't think. I mean, it was kind of a surprise, but I didn't have a lot of viewers on my channel, so it was like a surprise to like almost no one. No one that cared. Not a lot of people that cared. But yeah, all in all, I think I'm still fairly satisfied with this tower. Again, it's one of those things where if I built it today, there's definitely some things I would do differently. I don't even remember which episode I introduced it on, but I remember it took me months and months and months to build. Just because, like, I was trying to make videos and build this in secret, and it was really hard to do. I'm trying to balance everything. But the main entrance to this thing, you go in here, which you would never do unless you came by boat, because the portal's on top of the tower. You would come up these stairs, and this is where the portal is, and the drop and stuff like that. So this is the top of the tower, and just for the sake of it, we'll drop down through the portal through the top because it's always the best. So after a long climb, we're finally back up here to the top of the tower. And the thing about this tower is that the portal is all the way at the bottom. There's a water drop down there that's just sitting above the end portal. And all you do is you just drop all the way down, and you get into the end. I think that's pretty cool. I almost looked at that Enderman up there, but that's okay. Coming down here, we have where the Enderman farm is. And this, again, is one of those builds that it's not perfect, but dang it, it's mine. This is the farm here. I don't have any hoppers that automatically dispense into the void because I like to collect all the ender pearls because I am such a big ender pearl user when it comes to Minecraft. And I think while I'm here, I guess I'll repair the elytra. But yeah, it's not like an Enderman farm where it's like a one-hit kill and stuff like that. Like, you do kind of have to spend a little bit of time, but they spawn fairly quickly. I thought about maybe having an enchanting setup here in the future, but I think for now, I I guess it'll be okay. I'll just take some more ender pearls to go. Place some diamonds in there, and I guess we're good to go, because that's it. There's nothing else to show in the end. Over here, too, I got the dragon egg as well. I should probably talk about that, because I never did take the dragon egg off. There's all kinds of water around here, too, because I was using water to... When I was fighting the dragon, it was knocking me up in the air. I was trying to save my falls, and it worked a couple times. Not a whole lot, but it worked a couple times. But yeah, the dragon egg, I never really had an idea on what to do with it, so if you guys have an idea of something that... Let me know what you guys like to do with the dragon egg, and I'll probably do something with it. I know a lot of people like to build alt... Oh, I didn't know the dragon egg did that. Well, I just moved it. Whoops. I had no idea the dragon egg did that. Holy cow, it just teleports when you touch it. Well, it's there now. If you guys have an idea of what you want me to do with the dragon egg, then feel free and let me know. And we are just about here. Is this the one that I'm looking for? Spawn Jungle. Oh, okay, this is not the one, but let's go to Spawn. All right, so this is the Spawn Jungle. This is not exactly where I spawned here, but I spawned in this general area, and I think the spawn is actually on top of a tree or something like that. It's something weird. But yeah, this is the jungle where we spawned in. I don't come over here too often. It's very, very rare. My original plan a long time ago was to have like another base here closer to spawn. So if we ever died, we actually kind of had somewhere to kind of go and rebuild and grab materials, whatever it is. But I basically just built this portal here. So wherever it is, exactly where we spawn, we could just take this portal and we would be in the Nether hub and we would be able to get back to the main base. So I never really bothered with over here. But what do you guys like to do with the spawn in your world? Let me know. All right, is this the portal that I'm looking for? Mangrove Savannah Village. Yes, this is. So this is the closest mangrove forest or mangrove swamp to my main area. Because like I said, the original generation in my world was, I think, 1.16 or 1.15. I think 1.16 when I generated this world. So this is when the mangrove swamp was introduced, and I had to go out a little ways. I just recently deleted some chunks too. I had a really, really odd thing happened in my world in the last video where another piece of a different world naturally generated in this world. It was super weird. It was super, super, super weird. But I remember spending a little bit of time out here just building a fountain over here that I never finished either. But that's what that is. So let's go over there and let's see what the heck this is. Because when I first came over here, not only did I want the resources, but I wanted to build something with the resources. And I feel like I'm lost already. Holy cow. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so I built a fountain here. That was to kind of test out the resources. And, oh, I missed the bed. And I wanted to do something kind of neat, something a little bit abstract, something a little bit different. I thought about maybe having more stuff over here, too, in the mangrove. But I didn't bother, I guess, for whatever reason. I suppose I left and I just didn't have much more desire to come over here. But the reason why I never finished it was because there's no back end to it. It's just kind of floating here. But that's okay. It doesn't really need to be finished, but I could always come over here and finish it eventually with you guys if you guys want to see that, or if you want to see more stuff done in a mangrove biome. I don't know how many people actually build in mangrove biomes. Like, I don't see a lot of YouTubers spend much time here, so maybe that's something I could do to stand out a little bit, but let me know what you guys like to see, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and fly out of here. Oh, hey. Oh, I thought you were hoggling. They're not going to get mad at me in the Nether, are they? Oh, well. I don't know. All right, guys, so we are in a brand new area in the world, and this is about 7,000 blocks away from the main area, because it's like our main area is about 2,000 blocks away from the spawn, so this is another, 5,000 or so. And the main reason why I came out here is because I was searching for mountains, and I ended up finding the mountains that are over here. They're not that impressive compared to other mountains that you'll see in other worlds. Like I said, this seed is absolutely horrible for mountains, but this is the most mountainous terrain that I could find. The idea with this world was when I was ready to retire from the main area, instead of starting a new world, I kind of wanted to come over here and start fresh, start with a brand new area. This is not the mountain I was talking about, by the way. There's actually a nicer one. I think it's somewhere over here, or I thought it was. Yeah, this is it. This is it. It's not that special. It's not that special, believe me. But this is literally the best mountain that I could find. It looks like, I think, a little bit better maybe on the other side. All this area is completely new. I never really did anything out here other than explore it. Yeah, I think over here was like the better angle of the mountain. Maybe down here? Yeah, let's look at it from maybe these trees here. There's a big like oasis over here, and I to be fair, I don't know if there's more mountains over there. I never really looked. Yeah, so they look a little bit better on this side, if I do say so myself. Yeah, but that's really it. I like I said, it's not really the best seed for mountains. But I haven't really thought about doing much over here for a long time because ideally in my head, I want it to get to 100 videos here in the series. I want it to reach 100 episodes and then kind of do a season 2 in this world. And that would be in this area. And then I debated if I wanted to even keep this world, if I wanted to start a new world, if I really wanted to progress with the main area. And all of these things, I would like to hear from you guys. What, like, after seeing this world, what would you guys like to see? Would you like to see me really keep working, finish this world, finish the main area, really fill it with life and houses and all that kind of new stuff with different projects and farms, and then move over here? Or do you think I should just start a brand new world? What do you guys think? I have another idea for a future single-player series that I'll be doing. It's not going to be replacing the series, but you'll know it when you see it. But yeah, I love mega taiga biomes, though. These are like pretty rare for me. I never see these. I've never really had a single-player world where I've had one of these. So I've always wanted to do something like maybe something that kind of looks like the forest moon of Endor, if you know what I mean. It's Harry Potter and Star Wars, guys. Harry Potter and Star Wars. That's all I like. Whoa. Okay. Woo. I am tired of talking. I don't think I've ever talked this much in a single video, so I'm ready to call it a day. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this far in the video, this world tour has meant everything to me. This world means everything to me. This channel has meant everything to me, and I hope you guys are here for the journey. So again, if you like this video, I hope you consider liking, I hope you consider subscribing, and I hope you like some of these other videos I've made.